Well, hello everyone. It's been a minute. Time can get away from you when you are being pulled in 60 different directions. I have been busy this week, as most of us I'm sure have. And last week I was wrapping up some job hunting things. And in between all of the task-related things, I've been trying to work a little bit more on my skill building with things that I don't normally challenge myself to do. And portraits are usually pretty easy for me, I would say. But that's just because I just do front-facing portraits. I always have, and three-quarter view every now and then if it, goes into that direction when I'm building the face. But I never, up until recently, do profiles. And I think one of the reasons I like doing portraits is because of the symmetry and the captivation of the eyes. So profiles give a little bit of a different vibe, I guess. The ear is smack dead center of the focal point, and the eyes are facing a different direction unless you have them turned toward you, which I haven't done yet. The viewer, when I say you. So building a structure and coming up with a format that is repeatable, so I will enjoy doing profiles, has been something I've been challenging myself to work on, and gives a little bit more variety to the whole portrait drawing adventure. So as you can see, I am using a pencil to sketch out these drawings first, and later on I'll go in with a little bit of watercolor, since this is mixed media paper, and in my opinion not the best mixed media paper either. It is the Strathmore visual journal. They have a series of visual journals in different types of paper, whether it be Bristol or watercolor, and in this case, mixed media. The last sketchbook that I completed with this paper, I really did not like. I think I tossed the whole sketchbook, and I had a second one, and while I was waiting for my favorite one to come back in stock, I figured I would just use this as a regular, just kind of a trash sketchbook to figure out my structures and profile drawings and these different formats that I'm trying to use to build facial structures. The Mars LUMOGRAPH pencil is matte, so it takes the shine away, at least to a degree. That makes it a little bit easier for me to see. And that's literally what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, is just trying to come up with repeatable formats and structures that I can kind of go to and be on autopilot and not have to be lost so much. I was going through that phase, as all artists do, I guess, when you're drawing or painting and you have those happy accidents and you don't know how you did them and you'd like to do them again, and you try it and you just fail. And I figured the remedy for that was to come up with a format, whether it be the traditional methods of structured drawing, painting, or what have you. Doing the multiple different things and coming up with your own method or a combination of said methods gives you a structured starting point, and makes it to where you would, most likely achieve what you set out to do. Although there's something to be said for doing your regular non-structured, intuitive sketching and painting, where you're just kind of having fun and you don't really care what happens. But lately, there's some things I really like to see in my art, and I've wanted to repeat them, and it's been hard to do that. So one of my problem-solving goals was to figure out how to do repeatable structures so that I could most likely achieve the results that I'm looking for. One of my barriers, as you guys probably know if you've been watching me for a while, is I don't see too well. Contrast and color are extremely difficult, so trying to see really light drawings on paper and then do multiple layers on top are particularly challenging for me. So I try to bypass a lot of that stuff, and I found that I have to kind of revisit some of it and see if I can find a workaround, because those things are fundamental and they are extremely important. So I just have to figure out a way that I can do these things that works for me. Up until now, I just sketch with paint, and I still do that, but it does make it more reliable when you do have a structured drawing underneath. And I've been trying to figure out a way to get around that for a really long time now, but I just keep going back to that. So aside from me going in the proverbial circle, I have just wanted to share that little, insight on kind of revisiting and challenging yourself to do things that you don't normally do, and make things a little bit more solid of a skill that you can build to rely on and get better results if that's what you're after. So I just did kind of a monochromatic color scheme here with the watercolor over these pencil drawings, and yes, I'm sure that you guys can probably see a lot of the pencil through this, but I wasn't too worried about it because I can't see it. So it doesn't matter. But sorry if it bothers some of you guys. I know some people like to really clean up their drawings and make them super light before they put the paint on, but mine's just gonna have to be part of the end result. If you see it in there, it's just it's just the way it is. So the colors that I used are Daniel Smith watercolors, Permanent Brown, and Moon Glow, I believe. So that was my darker shadow color that I kind of went in with near the ends of these paintings, and to give it, some cooler shadows. But the Permanent Brown it's a very versatile pigment, because you can get super, super light, almost peachy colored washes with it. And when you go in strong, it's like an extremely dark brown. So when you're doing monochromatic studies, that's just a little bit of a tip. Pick a color that has a wide value range. And the other thing about this paper, even though I don't like it very much, there's a few things that when you have certain supplies, whether they're limited or they're student grade or you really don't like them very much, they've always got a particular trait that you can take advantage of. So this paper, when you put watercolor on it, although you can't do like extremely intense layering or heavy washes or anything, and you definitely can't blend after you've laid stuff down unless you do it within like half a second. but it feathers, and it does bleed, but ever so slightly. So it just has a certain effect that watercolor paper and regular sketchbook paper don't have. So you'll kind of see that in the end when I do some close-ups or just show the finished paintings, drawings. You'll see how the edges feather, and especially when the paint is not so heavy and kind of just a light mixture of mostly water and paint. Yeah, you can see that it just barely feathers out, and it gives kind of a softness effect. So that was a nice surprise with this kind of low-grade paper. The advantage to that is things don't really bleed that heavily into each other, and the paper dries rather fast. So even if you accidentally put kind of a big puddle, it's going to be dry pretty quickly, and you don't have to worry about accidental heavy bleeds or blooms flooding your paper, your image. So, did you guys have a good holiday this week? Are you having some time off? Are you more stressed than usual? Yeah, hopefully you're having time to make art and doing some relaxing activities in between the hustle and bustle. And I will leave you guys to enjoy the rest of this video, and hopefully it won't be 2 weeks before I upload again. And if you like this kind of content, want to see more of these types of videos, give me a like and consider subscribing. And with that, I will see you next time.